beautiful people, good morning. We're back at it again with another morning stream. Our morning streams have been killing it recently. They have been killing it recently, to say the least. So we're gonna keep on with this morning stream. I don't know what you would call it. This morning stream trial, right? Because we're not really used to doing many morning streams, so we're gonna keep at it. So far, so good. Today we're here very early. It is 6:30 a.m. my time, so it should be interesting. Should be interesting to see who we get in here today. We're gonna be talking about it is crucial that you become more aware of what you are doing mentally. That is a long title for today. It is crucial that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally. I do not use the word crucial lightly. All right, keep that in mind. I do not use the word crucial there lightly. It is absolutely crucial that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally. We know that second fear, what is second fear? It is worry. We know that this happens on a mental level, using your conscious ability to think, which means you have these thoughts, you have these feelings, but then you do a ton of negative thinking. You do a ton of blah, blah, blah up in your head, right? So it is absolutely crucial, I'll say it one more time, that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally during your recovery. We're going to talk about that today. What is up, Miller? Welcome. Is it 6:30 a.m. Wonder Bro? It is. It is. So we're here. We're here very early, very early today. We've been doing morning streams for like the past 3 or 4 days now, but not this early. Not this early. So it should be interesting to see how this goes. Um, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Discord link because we are going to give it a minute or two today before we get started. Um, like I said, this is very early for us, so I don't want to jump right into it too quick. Give some people time to get in here. Hey, bro, you ever plan on going live on TikTok? I don't think you can go live on TikTok until you meet a certain criteria. I think it's like, what is it, like 1,000 followers? I don't know. I'm not too familiar with TikTok, but I think you have to reach a certain mark before they even give you the ability to go live. So if you guys want to help me hit that mark, and then maybe we can start going live over there. Let's try to get to that 1,000. I believe that's what it is. I believe it's 1,000. Um, let me make What's up, Kevin? Let me make another announcement on the Discord because, like I said, we are here extremely early today. Um, Probably taking a lot of people off guard. So let's make a few announcements. Let's make a few announcements. How are you doing, Kevin? Hope you're having a good morning. Welcome, welcome. Do you have one? I'd like to catch you there. I do have a TikTok. I don't have the criteria met. I can't go live on my TikTok, but I do have one at Vacate Fear. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. All the different social medias. You can find me under Vacate Fear. Go check it out. I would really appreciate it. Like I said, guys, we are going to give it a minute or two today before we jump into the point of the stream. Let some people have some time to get notified here. Already tongue-tied, and then we will get started. Let me see. Is there any other links? Any of that good stuff I want to drop in the chat real quick? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. There we go. Drop that in there if anyone's interested in that. Wonder Bros being part of Discord necessary. Nothing is necessary outside of the streams. No, nothing is quote unquote necessary outside of the streams. I've got these things: Discord, TikTok, Facebook. I got all these other things, and they're cool. I do post good information on that stuff, and it is a good time. But are they necessary? No. We cover everything that needs to be covered in these streams. So those things are just bonuses. Those things are just bonuses. I just followed you under Just a Drifter. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. What's up, A? Welcome, dude. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead and get into this. We have waited, I believe, long enough, over 5 minutes now. So let's go ahead and get into the point of today's stream, anxiety recovery. It is crucial that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you know that we have what is called the two main keys. The two main keys are live your life, because those behaviors help show the brain that there is no real danger. Live your life as you normally would to the best of your ability, right? You don't have to be perfect. What is our other of the two main keys? Right? Stop fighting with everything. Stop fighting with the thoughts. Stop fighting with the feelings. Where does this fighting happen? This quote unquote fighting? Mentally, right? So that is why the title of today's stream is that it is crucial that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally. Now, a lot of people, when they first hear about these two main keys, when they first hear about acceptance, they're like, that's great, pretty simple, to the point. I love it. I like what I'm hearing. I'm ready to give this a go. Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem that a lot of people run into. This second fear, aka worry, all this fighting that you do mentally with the thoughts and feelings, you keep dragging it on and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. You know how that goes. This is a habit, and it's a very, very strong habit. So you can watch a stream. You know, our streams go on for about an hour. You can watch a stream. You can learn about the two main keys. But when that stream goes off, if you're still doing a bunch of mental blah blah, which I understand you can't help what thoughts come, and you can't help what feelings come, but you can help the mental blah blah. Thinking is a choice. Thoughts are not a choice. Thinking is a choice. All the mental blah blah that you're doing, right? So you can watch my streams. You can learn about the two main keys. You can learn about acceptance. You can learn about all this good stuff, right? But if you turn my streams off, right, and you go on about your day, and you're still doing a bunch of mental blah blah, a bunch of mental fighting with the thoughts and feelings, and not necessarily fighting. There's a bunch of different words you could use there. Debating with, arguing, carrying on. We used to call it following these thoughts, right? If you're doing a bunch of that up here, and you're not becoming aware of the habit that you are involved in, and you're not making an effort to use what we call around here accepting reminders, then a bit of an issue, and we need to work on that. Let's give an example. We absolutely love examples around here. It's the best way to put it. Let's say you're having a particularly anxious day. You're trying to stick to the two main keys, so you're continuing on with your day. You're trying to get things done. You're trying to be productive. You know, you're living your life as normally as you possibly can. So you got that part of the equation down, right? But up in your head, you just had maybe a negative, scary, intrusive thought, or you just had a feeling, or whatever, and up in your head you're going, oh gosh, what if that does happen? You're playing it out in your head mentally, plan A, plan B, plan C, what if this, what if that, and then you get a thought that says, oh gosh, this, and then that causes an anxious feeling, and now you're logged into the head, and you're playing out possible scenarios that might happen, and you're going over it and over it, oh gosh, what do I do? And you're totally lost, right? You're totally lost in all the mental blah blah. You're still doing the mental following of these negative thoughts and feelings. So, what does an accepting reminder look like? That's what we call it around here. It would look like this, right? You're chilling, you're having a particularly anxious day, your symptoms are high, you get a thought that says, maybe it's one of your old triggers, maybe it's something you've dealt with for a while, but a thought comes in and says, blah, 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 causes some strong anxious feelings. An accepting reminder would look like this. Instead of going down what we referred to the other day as bullshit alley, an accepting reminder would look like this. I just had the thought, I just had the feeling, I want to go there, I want to follow that, I want to get involved with that mentally, but I just remind myself, you know what? Thinking won't help me here. And then I go back to picking my nose or eating my food or whatever it is that I'm doing. Right now, that's just one of many different accepting reminders that you can give yourself. Thinking won't help me here. I'm tempted, very tempted to get involved, very tempted to go down that path, very tempted to follow all of that nonsense. right? It's some of the most tempting shit in the world. I'll be honest with you. Adding the worry, which worry is just a big umbrella term. There's many different terms you can use, but adding the worry to these thoughts and feelings is a very strong habit, and it's very tempting. And that's why you might have to a million times a day, instead of going down the worry path, which is what keeps you in the cycle, keeps your nerves stressed. Instead of going down the worry path, you have to give yourself a bunch of reminders when you're tempted to do that, right? So there's the strong feelings. Here comes the thoughts. You're very tempted to follow that. You're very tempted to see where that leads mentally. You're very tempted to go there mentally. But you need to pull yourself back, and you need to rinse and repeat this. You're going to have to do this a lot. Pull yourself back. Give yourself a little reminder. Thinking won't help me here. That's one that I really like. But you could use, there's a ton of different reminders you could use. It is what it is. Some people just cut straight to the chase and say I don't care. Some people they're more aggressive with it. Fuck it. Whatever. If it happens, it happens. Whatever your and my nose is so itchy. I don't know why. Whatever your little accepting reminder is, use it and don't be ashamed to use it. Right? You may have to use it quite a bit, especially at first. You may have to use it quite often. But if it keeps you out of the mental blah blah, which is all the fighting, arguing, debating, following, circle round and round we go, round and round we go. If it keeps you out of that, do not feel shame and having to use your little accepting reminders, okay? And then some people say, well, what if I'm already wrapped up in it? What if I'm already so involved in it that I'm pretty deep in it, right? Then I say, come back to the two main keys. Let's go do something. Let's get on with living life, right? If you're sitting there, whatever, let's get on with living life. And while you do that, even though you're already wrapped up in the mental blah blah, now you're aware of it, right? So you still have a chance to do some work here. Now that you're aware of it, right? Come back to your accepting reminder. 2 seconds later, you might be tempted to go down, here comes a thought. You might be tempted to follow that down the rabbit hole and fight with that and fuel that, right? Come back to your accepting reminder instead. Rinse and repeat this, rinse and repeat this. A lot of people tend to forget to do this. A lot of people tend to forget to do this. They see acceptance, they hear about acceptance, they say, oh, well, I'm living my life, but I just don't feel like I'm making much progress. Well, are you still adding all the mental blah blah? Are you still following every thought down the rabbit hole? Are you becoming more aware of what you're doing mentally and trying to work on that? If the answer to that question is no, well, then we found your problem. So, I wish we could only have one main key. I wish we could just say, this, that, and the other, one main key, there you go. But we do need to live our lives with these good behaviors. Right? This is only going to help the brain learn. And I don't mean you have to be busy 24 hours a day. I just mean don't change anything necessarily for anxiety. Work on that. Work on living your life again. Right? And we also have to have, okay, not following those thoughts. That's what we used to call it around here, but it's all the same. Not following those thoughts down the rabbit hole. So, a lot of people, are kind of, I guess a good way to put it is, a lot of people are kind of forced to continue to live their life. They really have no choice. But at the same time, if they're not using both of the two main keys together, it can kind of put a bit of a hold on true progress. Right? Because you can be living your life with these nice behaviors, but if you keep working yourself up mentally over and over and over and over and over again, it's a surefire way to keep those nerves popping, right? And that's why we've got two main keys. That's why I couldn't come on here and just give you one. I had to give you two. I had no choice. This is the two ways that the brain operates. You can set the nerves off through your prefrontal cortex, which is your thinking mind, your conscious ability to think, following those thoughts with more blah blah, right? You can set the nerves off that way, and you can teach the brain that things are dangers by the way you react to them. You stop living. You start getting on Dr. Google. You're not doing the things that you normally would do, right? So two ways we can kind of teach the brain what's going on. Two ways that we can teach the brain what's going on: through the prefrontal cortex, which is why I have that one main key of not following the thoughts, using your accepting reminders over and over and over again instead of going there, right? The other way, through your behaviors, a lot of Dr. Google, a lot of not living your life anymore, a lot of just every time you're anxious, you run and sit in a corner, right? This tells the brain that you're choosing flight, right? So two ways the brain kind of learns there, and that's why I've got two main keys and not just one. Wish I could have just one, but I've got to tackle both ways that the brain learns here. right? I wish I could have just one for simplicity's sake, but I've got to tackle both ways that the brain learns. So, I know we've done hundreds hundreds of streams on how important it is to not follow, like I said, that's what we used to call it, not follow those negative thoughts. We call it nowadays not fight with those negative thoughts. I've done hundreds of streams on that, but I'm also very aware that it is a strong habit. I'm also very aware that it is a very tempting habit. I'm also very aware that there's probably a good chance that 50% of people that watch the channel, maybe higher, are having these thoughts and feelings, and they're getting involved in the mental blah blah, and they're not even aware enough yet to realize that they're doing it. So we'll probably have hundreds of more streams on this topic because I know just how strong of a habit this is. So common questions that I get about this. I don't want to call it a tactic, but common questions that I get about recovery. When we're using our accepting reminders, Wonder Bro, what if we have to do this a million times a day? A thought comes in, I have to use my reminder instead of following it and seeing where it goes and fighting with it and arguing with it. Maybe, what if I have to do that a million times a day, Wonder Bro, while I'm living my life? And I say, no shame in it. What's better? What's your alternative? Use your reminder as often as you need to use it, or go down that rabbit hole and, man, just really, really stress yourself out. So, what's your alternative? I say there's no shame in it, right? There's no shame in it. What's going to happen is, as you start to heal, as you're using these two main keys and you start to see the results of that, right, you're going to have to use your reminders probably less and less because you are starting to heal, right? But at first, there is absolutely no shame in needing to use, some people call it a mantra. I prefer a reminder. There's absolutely no shame in using a reminder to keep you out of following those thoughts down the rabbit hole. And again, one of my favorites that I personally really enjoyed was thinking won't help me here. You're so tempted to get involved with every thought, and then you get a feeling, you're tempted to think on that feeling a bunch of negativity, and you get a thought and you're tempted to follow that, see where that goes. I really like the saying, thinking won't help me here. Right? Some people say, well, Wonder Bro, I use it, and 2 seconds later, I'm tempted to go there again, and I say, no shame in using it again, and then get back to picking your nose. Get on with your day, right? So there's two main keys for a reason, guys. There's two main keys for a reason. And like I said, I wish for simplicity's sake that I could come on here and say, we got one main key, let's get it, right? But I'm trying to tackle both ways that the brain learns. I'm trying to tackle both ways. Okay? And these streams I feel like are crucial because this habit is so strong. This habit is so strong and it's very tempting. Sometimes you're doing it and you're not even realizing you're doing it. So these little streams where we sharpen your skills, so to speak, I feel like are very, very crucial. So you can go from having a really, really anxious day to having a day that's much, much better by the end of it if you remember and truly reflect on these two keys. And honestly, and make sure, of course, obviously, that you're using those reminders and you're using these two keys. And I would recommend, honestly, that each day as you start your day, especially if you're early on in recovery, I would highly recommend that each day that you start your day and when you open your eyes, you remind yourself, okay, I need to be really aware of what I'm doing mentally today. Right? I would highly recommend that each day when you open your eyes, you give yourself a nice little reminder, okay, I need to live my life today and I need to be very aware. Crucial. I need to be very aware of what I'm doing mentally today. You can't help what thoughts come. You can't help what feelings come, but you can help if you follow them mentally with the blah blah, which means to hold on to them and then follow, okay, where do you take me? Where do you go? Blah, 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 very crucial, right? That you remember to use the two main keys that you're learning here because that habit of following negative thoughts is so strong that you get lost in the mental blah blah sometimes without even realizing it. So it's very important to give yourself little reminders of what our goal is here, right? And then, of course, have no shame in using those reminders. Every time you're starting to go down the mental blah blah route, okay, I'm starting to follow that thought. Okay, you know what? I accept that thought. Thinking won't help me here. Get back to living, right? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You've got to put in this work, right? And again, I highly recommend that every day you open your eyes, you remind yourself, okay, today I'm going to be very mentally aware of what I'm doing, and I'm going to use my reminders, right? And I'm going to have no shame in using them. I'm going to have no shame in using them, right? Now, some days, of course, are going to be easier than others. Some days it's going to be easier to do this than others. Some days you might find that you're lost in the mental blah blah and you don't even realize it. That's okay. Doesn't mean that you're back to square one or something. Just come back to using the advice. We all make mistakes, right? You've heard that one before. It's true. We all make mistakes, right? But the title of this stream is so very important because it is so crucial that you make it a point to become more mentally aware of what you are doing throughout the day. Because if you're lost in the mental blah blah all day long and you're not even trying to use a little reminder to step back from that and get back to living, and then 3 seconds later here comes another thought, okay, I accept it, little reminder to myself, get back to living, 3 seconds later I do it again, 3 seconds later, if you're not putting in that effort, you're probably going to just keep going down that rabbit hole, which we know is the habit, which we know is very tempting, which we know keeps us in that fear on fear cycle. All of this thinking sets off the nerves, right? So again, guys, I understand how strong of a habit it is. I understand that you don't have to be perfect because you're not. I understand how tempting it is, and I understand that you might have to use your reminder, especially at first, early on in recovery, a million times a day. I understand all of that, and yet I still sit here and tell you the same thing. You need to do it. You need to do it, right? And what's going to help you more than anything is becoming more aware of what you're doing. And a good way to do that is, like I said, when you open your eyes each morning, you give yourself a nice little reminder, okay, today I need to be very mentally aware of what I'm doing. And if I notice I'm following anything, if I notice I'm going down any rabbit holes, I need to use my reminders and I need to use them without shame. And I need to get on with my day, face these feelings, and prove to my brain there is no real danger. The two main keys right there. Okay? Okay? So, sorry. Again, I cannot stress to you guys how important it is to become more mentally aware of what you're doing, because a lot of times you are lost in that rabbit hole and you don't even realize it. Again, I cannot stress to you how important it is that you use your reminders without shame instead of going there. Again, I cannot express how important it is to you that if you've already went there, that's okay. Use the reminders and get back on track, right? You adopt your own little reminder. You can switch it up. You can use the same one. You can be aggressive. You can be more accepted and chilled and whatever you want to do if it keeps you out of the rabbit hole, right? Short, sweet, and simple. Little reminder. Stay out of that rabbit hole, okay? Very crucial. Very crucial that you become aware of what you're doing mentally each day. Because again, I'm going to sum it up. I'm going to sum this stream up with this. We've got two main keys for a reason. Two ways the brain learns. Continue to live your life. Show your brain there's no real danger. Number two, you can set it off with the prefrontal cortex. We're going to stop setting it off with the prefrontal cortex, aka your thinking mind. Thoughts are different than thinking. Thinking is something you consciously do. We're going to stop setting it off with the prefrontal cortex by every time that we notice we're going down the rabbit hole with these thoughts, we come back to our reminder instead. With no shame. With no shame. All right? Now, it takes work, it takes effort, but guess what? Every single one of you in this chat this morning is absolutely more than capable, right? But you really need to make it a point to remind yourself of what those two keys are, make it a point to be more mentally aware of what you're doing. We're not asking you to fight with the thoughts or the feelings. We're just asking you to not go down any rabbit holes. So when you get a strong feeling and you want to go down the rabbit hole, oh, blah, 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 just use your reminder, come back to living. When you get a thought that says this might happen, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that, you're tempted to go down the rabbit hole. Nope, just use your reminder and go back to living. So we're not asking you to fight with anything. In fact, the only time that we would ever use the word fight here, okay, I'll give you a pass on this one. If you say that I'm Wonder Bro, I'm fighting my bad habit of fighting the thoughts and feelings mentally, then I'll give you a pass on that. I'll give you a pass on that, right? But other than that, we're not fighting any thought and feeling. We're just fighting our own urge to fight, right? By using a little reminder when we start going there mentally and coming back to living. All right, guys? All right, so that was the point of today's stream, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Most importantly, I hope you use it, right? The title of this stream says it's crucial that you become more mentally aware of what you're doing, and that's why you got to use this stuff, Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like if you did. Every time you leave a like, guys, it helps get this information, this valuable information, out to people that need it. So make sure you take just a second to toss a like. I would really appreciate it. With all that being said, say goodbye to the beautiful face for a moment. We're going to switch on over to the post stream and read some comments. Good morning, Expressing. How are you doing? Morning, everyone. Hope you all have a good day. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. What's up, old mate? Welcome. Hope you're having a good morning. Hello, hello, everyone. Just got back from practice day 5, and now I'm happy. I don't know why. Maybe I killed it. You did, dude. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Use your reminders. Use your reminders. Why do they call it a disorder when it's a habit? Sorry for anxious question. Because it's easier to treat, and easier is not even a term that I probably would use. It's easier for the doctors, I guess. It's easier for the doctors. It's easier for people in most circumstances to be taught, hey, this is just a disorder. Take this pill, and sorry about your luck. Right? That's more straightforward than actually teaching people and getting to the root of the problem, which is a habit, right? It's easier to do that and to just go that route and say, fuck it, just take this, whatever, right? It's easier to go that route for people than it is to actually learn about what's going on and then apply the advice, right? So it's just an easier route to take. And that's unfortunate. However, if you are here on this channel, and of course, taking medication or not taking medication is your choice. Nobody can make that choice for you, not even me, right? If you want to take medication, you can and still use the advice here and learn. If you don't want to take medication, you can and still use the advice here and learn. But you get what I'm saying. It's easier to just call it a disorder and chuck it under the here, just take this and sorry about your luck. It's easier to do that than it is to learn about what's actually going on. So unfortunately, that's the way most people view it. What's up, Hank? How you doing, dude? Let's see. Nope, you're absolutely correct. A lot of people are still in the process of understanding what's going on, and I'm here to try my best to teach them. Well, you've wired your brain, or your brain has been wired, rather, Sean. Your brain has been wired, rather, to see said thing as a possible danger, even though it might not happen again, right? So all the worry, all the unnecessary rabbit holes that we go through mentally is unneeded. Is unneeded. If we want to teach our brains, retrain our brains, right, that said thing, is not actively happening now, this danger, then we've got the two main keys right here. All right, you guys, I am going to. I still got your comments, don't worry. Still got the comments. But I am going to grab something to drink here. That was a good little rant. I'm happy with it. I appreciate that, Jimmy. Glad you enjoyed it, dude. Glad you enjoyed it. How you doing, old mate? It's okay. You've got this information now expressed, and you're free to do, what you want with it as you please. So that's what matters. What was that notification there? I heard some sort of notification. What was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, there's no sense in thinking too much, on the past and working yourself up over the past. It's the same concept. If you work yourself up a lot over the past, oh, I wish I would have done this or wish I would have done that, no good for the nerves, right? So use your accepting reminder. Come back to reality. Same concept there, even if we're talking about, thoughts of the past. Big day for me, Wonder Bro. Nice, dude. You're gonna kill it. Whatever it is, don't you worry about it. You're gonna kill it. You got it. What's up, Soul? It's been a minute since I've seen you, dude. Do thoughts come from beliefs? Not necessarily, not all the time, right? If you're in an anxious state, your thoughts can be pretty much all over the place. It doesn't necessarily have to stem from a belief, but the two main keys, regardless, right? You're accepting reminders instead of going down these rabbit holes of fighting, will come in handy, and this is what you need to break out of that stress on stress cycle. So it doesn't necessarily always have to come from a belief, right? It can depend a lot on what your current state of nervous system is or what your current state of mind is. And that's why when people become what we call sensitized, aka tired nerves, they tend to have a more predominant, mindset with a lot of negative thoughts coming in that they normally wouldn't care about or normally would laugh at, right? So that's why we see that happening. Wonder Bro is watching Netflix living life. Living life is you doing what you want to do. It's that simple. Doesn't need to be overcomplicated, doesn't need to be obsessed about. I know obsession's a big thing here, right? But living life is as simple as doing what you want to do, right? Not what the anxiety wants you to do. So, coping methods, basically, is a good way to put it. Coping methods. We want to try to cut back on those. Want to try to cut back on those coping method type behaviors. That's what we want to try to do. So don't obsess too much about the two main keys. They're very straightforward. They're very straightforward. We live your life. Uh-oh, what was that? What was that? I'm not at the PC at the moment. Let's see if I can pull that up on my phone. Let's see real quick here. Okay, I don't want to say their name in case they don't use their real name on their YouTube account. So let me get my ass back over here. FBK, dude. FBK, thank you so much for the $25 tip. Making the Fat Santa rain today, man. First one to make the Fat Santa rain today. Thank you so much, FBK. Let's give a shout out to FBK in the chat, please. Thank you so much, man. We're on a 56-day streak. Like I said, we're not used to these morning streams, but we've been doing them for the past 4, maybe even 5 days now. And I'm going to be honest with you, morning stream has been absolutely killing it, man. You guys have been killing it. So, we're going to keep doing this. Probably, more than likely, we're going to keep doing this if my sleep schedule permits it, as long as you guys enjoy it. So, I'm 43. I want to enjoy life more simply now. I think you're on the right track. In fact, I know you're on the right track. You're learning that you don't have to mentally get involved with your thoughts and feelings. You're learning that you can give yourself a reminder instead of going down these rabbit holes, which is just going to stretch your nerves out, right? You're learning that you can live your life. You're learning these two keys, and therefore I know you're on the right track. I know you're on the right track. And now it's just a matter of keeping it up. And like the title of this stream says, it's also a matter of becoming more aware. Are you using the two main keys? Are you using your reminders throughout the day instead of going down these mental rabbit holes? Are you doing that? Right? And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So you've got this really, really awesome advice. You've got this really great information. And now comes the question, am I using it? Am I being self-aware enough to use it? Right? Love those old videos. Wonder Bro, that was freaking miraculous. Hey, I'm glad you liked them, Sean. It's good to see you this morning, dude. I hope you're having a great one. Yeah, shout out to FBK, man. Shout out to FBK. Thank you so much for the $25 tip. We are on a 56-day streak currently, guys. A 56-day streak. When I first started the whole streak system, I was like, I don't know. We might make it to 15, we might make it to 20, and then we'll have to restart, whatever. I did not in a million years think that we would get up to 56 freaking days. That is absolutely amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you for being a part of that. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. You really do help keep this show on the road. I appreciate you. I really, really do. I'm certainly way more aware. That's a very crucial part of recovery, old mate. A very crucial part of recovery. And, that's exactly why I wanted to do this stream this morning. Because if you're sitting there going down these rabbit holes all day long with these thoughts and feelings, and you're not putting the brakes on and using a reminder instead as often as you need, if you're not doing that, right? But you know the advice, but you're not doing that, then you're obviously not very aware of what you're doing. So you need to increase that awareness. How do you increase that awareness? By reminding yourself, like I said, and you open your eyes, reminding yourself of what your goal is, reminding yourself of what your job is, right? So, again, that's why I made this stream today. Because you can have all of this great advice. Of course, you can learn about many different things in your life, but if you're not actually applying it, right, then We should probably work on that. We should probably work on that. So, absolutely, being more aware is crucial. Crucial. We use the word crucial there because it is very, very crucial. I would have days during my recovery where I would still be fighting with my thoughts going down these rabbit holes, and then it would take me quite some time to be like, "Whoa, dude, you've been doing this for the past 3 hours. You've been up in your head, right? You've been doing this for like the past 3 hours, setting your nerves off with your prefrontal cortex. You've been doing this for 3 hours. Again, you can't control what thoughts and feelings come, but you control the thinking. Thoughts and thinking, two different things. Um, but yeah, I would do that quite often during my recovery, especially during the early stages. Dude, you've been, past 3 hours, you've been setting your shit off again, right? And then once I was more aware of it and I could start applying acceptance, then everything started to even out back again, right? So being self-aware, very, very crucial. Being self-aware, very, very crucial. Cheers, Wonder Bro. Hey, thank you, old mate. I appreciate your support, man. Imagine those people that are completely unaware of Wonder Bro and this advice. This is what I call scary. We should be grateful. Well, I mean that is true, but at the same time, we're growing every single day, right? The people that need this advice, they will find it. They will find it. I'm sure of that. They will find it eventually, and the more we grow, the more we can get this message out to more people. So that's why I always encourage you guys to like. That's why I always encourage you guys to share all your comments. Everything you do here on the channel helps this channel grow. So that's why I always try to encourage that. You are right, but at the same time, we are growing every single day, and this advice is starting to get out there. It's starting to get out there, and you guys are helping with that. So take a second to throw this stream a like, and let's continue to get the message out there. The least you could do, right? What do you think causes intrusive thoughts or habitual thinking? It's really repetitive nature, right? So the habit of thinking is just that. It's a habit. It's repetitive. It's something that you've learned to do through habit. So the habit of thinking itself is just that. It's a habit. Now, where do these thoughts come from is a more of a matter of what your state of mind is. If your nerves are very tired, if your brain is very tired, if you're in more of an anxious state, of course your negative intrusive thoughts are going to be more honed on being negative, and they're going to be more frequent, right? So to reverse this cycle, we become aware if we're following these thoughts down the rabbit hole or not, and then we live our lives, accepting reminders instead of going down the rabbit hole. So far the growth has been steady. I mean, we've gained the same amount of subscribers each month that we have for about the last year or two. So each month is still about the same. However, you might have noticed a decline last month because we didn't stream all month. I wasn't able to. So you might have noticed a decline there, but I try to keep up with my numbers, and so far the growth has been the same as it's been for about a year each month. So hopefully that does start to pick up, but so far so good. I don't know if YouTube will ever die out. I really don't. It's just so massive. Um, but I mean, I am on other things, so maybe those things will grow too. Who knows? We might be streaming on multiple different platforms one day. You never really know. Yeah, sure, Kevin. I don't mind. I don't mind, dude. I'll try to give you my best advice. You're wanting some advice on something other than anxiety. I will try to give you my best advice. We'll see what happens. What's up, Mint? Good morning. Good morning, Mint. How are you doing? Sunny as hell here in Italy. It's still dark outside where I'm at. It's actually quite warm though. It's been very, very chilly here recently. Today is quite warm, so I'm happy about that. It must be beautiful there. I'm eating lunch right now with the anxiety burning feeling in my body, adrenaline or whatever it is. Nice. Congrats. Nice, nice. Perfect opportunity. Don't go down any rabbit holes. Just live your life. Perfect opportunity. Keep that right attitude. Don't go down any rabbit holes. Use those reminders. Use those reminders. Just as the title of this stream says, crucial that you're aware of what you're doing. Oh, you're actually Irish, but been here for ages. Gotcha. You are right on that, Mint. You are right on that. That is the rabbit hole. We see where we're going with that. So you're becoming more self-aware, just as the title of this stream says, and you should be proud of that. A lot of obsessive thoughts and repeating scenarios of relationship after breakup. Good news is we don't worry about context. That's the good news. Good news is we don't worry about context around here. So you can have a lot of negative, intrusive thoughts about something that has recently happened. Whatever the case may be, we don't worry about context because guess what? Avoiding going down that rabbit hole and just accepting these thoughts and feelings, using those accepting reminders instead of going down those flipping rabbit holes, right? Is how we approach this no matter what the thoughts are about. No matter what the thoughts are about. That is how we approach this. So you might get an obsessive thought that says, oh, this about the breakup, this. You can go down that rabbit hole if you please. But then we're just blah, 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 circle, circle, circle. Or you can have the thought, you can use an accepting reminder, thinking won't help me here, and you can get back to picking your nose, right? And then 5 seconds later, another obsessive thought comes in. Instead of going down that rabbit hole, you use a nice little accepting reminder. You get back to living, right? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. No longer going down these rabbit holes with all the fight, right? So that is the good news. That is the real. It is some really good news. Is that it doesn't matter what the context of the negative thought is. The practice is still the same, and that's some really awesome news, isn't it? Some really awesome news. The two main keys: live your life. Stop going down those rabbit holes, those mental rabbit holes. Use your reminder instead. Use a nice little accepting reminder instead. So give that a try. Life is good. Give that a try. Of course, you're still going to feel the feelings and you're going to have the thoughts. You got to feel it to heal it, right? But you're no longer adding to by going down the rabbit hole. That's enough oil, so stop pouring. Then realize that might be an eating disorder thought. That's how they used to be. Well, under that circumstance, I don't know what you were cooking. I don't know if that was technically enough oil or not, right? Um, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. I'll leave that up to you to decide if that's a rabbit hole that you wish to go down or not. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You don't always have to leave it up to the mind to decide, oh, this, that. You don't have to always leave it up to the mind to decide this, that, and the other. Trust yourself. You have a thought. You can go down the rabbit hole. You can not go down the rabbit hole. It's never worth going down the rabbit hole, and you can decide whether you want to keep adding oil or not. Right? So a lot of people think, well, I got to leave it up to my mind. Well, there's something behind the mind. It's called yourself. Some people say, well, what am I without the mind? Well, you're the one who's aware of it. And as the awareness of the mind, right, there's two different operations going on here. So you get thoughts all day long, you get feelings all day long. You can go down the rabbit hole or you can not go down the rabbit hole. I recommend using an accepting reminder and, of course, not going down that rabbit hole. And then just do what you think is best, right? So that's a fairly new concept for a lot of people. What am I without my mind? Right? Uh, Will, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Why is the mind the way that it is? It needs to evolve. That's why it needs to evolve. Mostly set up for protecting, quote unquote, protecting us, but normally just turns out to be a lot of hogwash. So, sounds like a rabbit hole you might want to avoid there, Mint. You might just want to avoid that rabbit hole and let yourself know okay? That you can trust yourself and avoid that rabbit hole, because if you go down it, we will be here all day. We will be here all day, and I won't be able to convince you that you can trust yourself, because you can't convince someone of anything when they're in a rabbit hole. There's no convincing that can be done. That's why with people with OCD, you try to convince them out of the rabbit hole. This won't happen because of this. You try to give them logic, you try to give them reason. It never works. It's very short lived. So you can't convince someone of anything that's already down a rabbit hole. Stay out of the rabbit hole and let it happen. Let life happen. And you'll see how it falls into place, right? So you can't convince anyone of anything for very long if they're already down a rabbit hole, right? Because what is a rabbit hole? Stress on top of stress on top of stress. We can run in circles, and we probably will run in circles for a very long time. You can't convince anyone of anything while they're in a rabbit hole. It's called reassurance, and reassurance never works for very long, right? So we suggest coming back to the accepting reminder instead. Stay out of the rabbit hole and just watch how life naturally unfolds instead of trying to go to the mental drawing board, because you won't find answers there. You never will. You never have. What you have found there is some anxiety. Some continued anxiety. That's what you have found there. That's the only thing to find there. It's funny how there's no answers that are ever in the rabbit hole. It's just more anxiety that's there, which makes the answers even more obscure. So, a losing battle there. What's up, man? How are you today? I'm good, Will. How are you doing, dude? Absolutely, Sean. What's your plans for the day? Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. I don't have anything specifically planned as of now, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see. I think that's Mint's cat in the profile picture. I'm not 100% sure though. I don't think I've ever asked if that's actually Mint's cat or not. Hello there, dude. What's up, Andy? Good to see you. Hope your channel's doing well. Hope it's still growing for you. What are your plans for the day, Will? Still playing 5M? A little bit. Not like I used to. Not like I used to, but a little bit here and there. Haven't really found a server that I enjoy. Do you think the mind is not as negatively biased as, let's say, 200 years ago? That's a good question. That's a good question. I might go out on a limb and say it's probably more negatively biased because nobody's ever been taught that they can avoid these rabbit holes, so they continue reinforcing this, right? You see a lot of anxious people today, so I don't know. It could go either way. It could go either way. It really could. You really could, but when you stay out of those rabbit holes, you start to make better decisions because you're operating from a better place, right? So a lot of people, they want answers in the mind. Like Mint said, how do I trust myself? Well, understand that when you avoid going down the rabbit holes and you start to heal, you start to feel better, you're automatically going to make better choices, right? And the only reason you haven't made the greatest choices up until now is because you have been so lost in the rabbit holes, right? Which has led to, of course, tired nerves, so forth and so on, right? My childhood cat, Alex, who passed last year at 17 years, many good memories. Okay, I was never sure. I was never sure if that was actually your cat or not, but I'm sorry to hear about your loss. Never easy to lose a pet. I like it, old mate. I like it. I'm a bit unwell. Think I've got a chest infection, unfortunately, so I've got the heating on and relaxing, creating some thumbnails. Nice, dude. Take it easy, relax, let yourself heal. Everything okay with yourself? I'm doing good, man. What do you play now? Um, my main go-to right now as far as gaming is concerned is Red Dead. I've been playing that again, Red Dead 2. Doing another playthrough. I played it on console and now I'm playing it again on PC. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've been having a lot of fun with that recently. Yeah, if you're into tech related stuff, I recommend you check out Andy's channel. He's got a lot of good reviews on there. Got a lot of good reviews on there. Let's see if we can get him a few more subscribers today. Andy's a good guy. Wonder Bro, do you think following your passion is good advice? Well, if you're passionate about it, absolutely. Absolutely. I think following your passion's good advice. Um, you know, I don't see any harm in that. Well, see, here's the thing, man. When you say know that you can trust yourself, let it go, and feel like that's a huge risk, like letting a 3-year-old drive. Actually, it's quite the opposite. When you keep going down these rabbit holes, you are currently letting a 3-year-old drive, and it's a very chaotic 3-year-old that leads to very tired nerves and sensitization, as you know from personal experience. So it's quite the opposite. When you go down these rabbit holes and you're so involved in the mind and blah 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 blah, you're currently letting a 3-year-old drive. In fact, you're letting a blind 3-year-old drive, and that's why people end up sensitized. So when you say quote unquote take the risk, which I know it feels like a risk, but when you use your accepting reminders instead of going down these rabbit holes, you're not actually taking a risk at all. You're going to start to heal. Right? But I understand to the obsessive person it feels like a risk. But keep practicing, and I'm sure you've already seen some results, but keep practicing and you'll see exactly what I'm referring to. They have Red Dead 2.5 MRP servers. Oh yeah, Red M. Red M. I have tried those. They're decent. Legend of Zelda, very good game. Very good game. What's up, Joseph? Hope you're doing good, dude. Hope you're doing swell. I have tried some of the Red M servers, Will, not recently, like when it first became a thing. So there really wasn't much to do. There wasn't much out for it yet, but it was fun. I'm sure it's even funner now. Absolutely, dude, and I hope you went about that the right way. I hope you stayed out of those mental rabbit holes and used acceptance. Good morning, Dwayne. Hope you're doing well, dude. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing swell. If you're just now joining us, remember you can always catch the streams after they happen. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Also, if you don't mind tossing the stream a quick like, let's see if we can get those likes up a little bit more. We've got quite a few people in here, so let's try to jump those likes up. Really does help the channel grow, helps get this info out to the people that need it. Gonna restart the video, absolutely, Dwayne. Absolutely, absolutely. Lots of good vibes this morning, lots of good vibes. On your way to work, hope you have a good day at work, dude. Make the most of it, enjoy it. Which cigarette do you smoke? I smoke L&M's Blues. L&M Blues, so that's like the light cigarette. 100s, gotta have the 100s in there too. Every time I say to leave a like, you've already liked it. You're a step ahead of the game, Mint. A step ahead of the game, always. Always, always. I like it. I like it. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. A lot of people kind of underestimate just how much likes help, but they really do help. They really, really do help. It's how YouTube knows to push these videos out a bit more. So they really do help. Vibing. We're vibing this morning, mate. We are vibing this morning. Hey, speaking of vibing, I don't know why I don't have any music on, man. Why do I not have any music on? We're trying to vibe here. We need some music. Let's get some music going. What you guys think? Let's see here. What do we want to listen to today, chat? It is close to Christmas. Probably should stick to some Christmas type music. Stick with the theme here. I'll try to get that going. Gotta sit through an ad real quick. All right. All right, there we go. Let's get some music going. Get some lo-fi vibes going. I normally can remember to turn the music on way sooner than that, but must have slipped my mind today. Some Christmas metal. Wouldn't that be something? It's always a little bit of a bummer that we have to listen to copyright free stuff, but I wanted to make a cat gif of the stream with your kitten, but YouTube always places. Oh, you're talking about like an older stream? Like an older stream that's on the channel that has my cat in it. Yeah, I hate how YouTube does that. We're gonna make ourselves a sandwich, chat. We got the mini fridge here. We're gonna make ourselves a nice sandwich while we chill out with chat and listen to some tunes. We're gonna put a slice of cheese on there. A slice of cheese. We're gonna crack into the honey ham. The honey ham, you know that's the way to go. It's always the way to go when we're talking about sandwiches. We're gonna put a few slices on there. Not too much. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. You know we're gonna need something to drink with that sandwich. Hope everybody in chat's staying out of any mental rabbit holes right now. Use those reminders. Trash metal. Corrected yourself. Thrash metal. I'm pretty sure trash metal is I'm like 90% sure that's a thing too. So technically you're not wrong. Technically you're not wrong because I'm like 90% sure that's a thing. Don't forget to melt the cheese. I never melt the cheese. I just go at sandwiches, just a nice chill sandwich. Can I have a sandwich? Of course. You can all have one. I'm like trying to mute myself in between bites here. Looks like it's going to be a very rainy day today. Looks like it's going to be a very rainy day from what I can see outside the window here. Looks like it might actually storm. Let's see. Let's check the weather. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to have some rain today. Oh, that scared me a little bit. That scared me a little bit. Who was that? Mint making the Fat Santa rain. Mint, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mint. I appreciate you. What's that put us at? What's that put us at, chat? Testing my basic math skills. That puts us at 47. Thank you so much, Mint. We are 3 away from moving on to a 57-day streak. Let's give a huge shout out in the chat to Mint and everyone else who has tipped today. FBK, thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate that. Love you, man. God bless. Gotta go by. Much love right back at you, Kevin. 2 main keys to dude. Kick ass. 2 main keys, dude. 2 main keys. I've missed this song, the lo-fi. Got some lo-fi going on a rainy day, man. We're vibing. We're vibing. Show Mint some love in the chat, man. Show Mint some love. Taking down that sandwich like a lion on a giraffe. You are right. We are halfway through it already. Let's go in for another bite. Let's go in for one more. The dollar song. Okay. You're talking about the classic dollar song. We used to use that like a year and a half ago. We brought it back. The cloud will probably return when we're out of the holiday season. When we get back to just normal vibes, we'll probably return to the cloud. People love the cloud. FBK coming in again, man. Making it rain. FBK with the $5 tip says, let's move on to a new streak, dude. Thank you so much, FBK. As a matter of fact, with that $5 tip, we are moving on to a new streak. We're moving on to a 57-day streak, to be exact. Sorry for going quiet on you guys, man. I'm just like, I'm starving over here. So I got to get this sandwich down. But let's give a huge shout out in the chat, man, to FBK and Mint taking us to a 57-day streak all by themselves. Give them a huge round of applause, man. Thank you guys so much. 57-day streak is just absolutely insane. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get this sandwich down, man. I'm trying. Woo! Tip goal, absolutely, man. Morning stream has been killing it recently. Okay, I'm officially done. How long did that take me, man? We sped right through that. I've officially ate the whole sandwich. It's gone. That was tasty. I wish I had some chips to go with it. There's nothing like chips with a sandwich, dude, but I don't think I have any chips at the moment. Still a very, very good classic ham and cheese, man. I like it. I like it. F to the B to the K. Understandable, Sean. Understandable. You like the melted cheese and the crunchy bread. Hey, you know, every now and then if I'm feeling extra fancy, I might toast my bread and melt my cheese. But normally I just throw it on some bread and call it a day. So that's how I normally go at it. Okay, get a sip of something to drink there. There's got to be someone out there thinking right now, man, this dude couldn't wait until after the stream. He had to have a snack right now. Yes, the answer to that question is yes. When your boy's hungry, your boy's hungry. I can't help it. Can't help it. So let's recap real quick, guys. We're over that 1 hour mark. We're moving on to a 57-day streak. Let's recap real quick before we go anywhere. So today's stream, man, what did we talk about? What did we talk about today? Sanchez just joined us. Hey, man, just in time. We're about to do a recap. Welcome, Sanchez. Hope you're doing good, dude. So recap. What did we talk about today? We talked about how crucial it is, guys. How crucial it is for you to be aware of what you're doing mentally. Okay? And I would say at all times, because that's true. However, I understand that you're going to start thinking, oh, maybe I need to be perfect. No, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. But you do need to be more aware of what's going on mentally. And what I mean by that is you can come on the streams, you can learn about the two main keys, you can live your life, which is one of those two main keys, and then you can try to do less worry. But if when these streams go off, if you're going down every rabbit hole, every thought comes, boom, you follow it. Every feeling comes, sorry, I'm burpy. Oh my gosh. I ate that too quick. Every Every feeling that comes, you go down a mental rabbit hole. All the mental negative thinking, blah, 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 blah. Every thought comes, you follow it right down the rabbit hole. If you turn off the streams and you go that route, how are we going to make progress? The answer to that question is we're not, but that's okay. We can practice, right? So you need to be more aware. It is crucial that you become more aware of what you're doing mentally throughout your day. Because if you know the two main keys, but you are not applying them, right? You're not making an effort to use your reminders instead of going down those rabbit holes over the thoughts and feelings, right? If you're not making an effort to do that, you need to become more aware of what you're doing throughout each day. You need to become more aware of what you're doing throughout each day. If you're continuing to go down these rabbit holes, what do we mean when we say rabbit hole? We simply mean you get a feeling and you start doing the mental blah blah. You get a thought and you start following it. Oh, let's see where this goes. You start to mentally think over these thoughts and feelings, right? If you're still doing that, you've got the advice, but you're not using it, right? And that's where becoming more aware of what you're doing mentally each day comes in handy, right? And I said earlier that it is a good idea, okay? It's not a bad idea at all that when you open your eyes in the morning, you give yourself a nice little reminder. Today I'm going to use my accepting reminders. I know it's going to be tempting to go down these rabbit holes over my thoughts and feelings, but instead I'm just going to give myself a nice little reminder, get right back to living the two main keys, right? It would not be a bad idea at all to make it a habit to remind yourself of this, right? That way you're more aware of what you're doing each day instead of going down these rabbit holes without even realizing it. Now, is it okay if you do it and you catch yourself? Yes, that is okay. You're still scoring points. You're still going to win this thing, right? It's okay to not be perfect, but you do need to step up that self-awareness so that you are more aware of whether or not you're even using the advice to begin with, right? Because a lot of times people will stop themselves 6 hours in, 7 hours in, 8 hours in, and they'll be like, holy shit, I did this a lot during my journey. Holy shit, I've been sitting here in this rabbit hole for 6 hours now, right? It's a good thing that you caught it. Good thing that you caught it. Pat yourself on the back. But maybe next time you can increase the awareness so that we don't have to be down that rabbit hole as long, right? So again, very crucial that you become more mentally aware of what's going on, right? Of what you're doing mentally. Okay, so that is our recap for today's stream, man. That is our recap for today's stream. Let's see. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Absolutely. A little late, but what's good, Wonder Bro? What's up, AC? I recommend you, if you want to, recommend you guys check this stream out. If you're late, it was a good one. Was a good one. We're going to take another sip here. I gotta have that Mountain Dew, man. At least one can. At least one can. We gotta get a little bit of caffeine, alright? Alright, guys. Before we end it, I'm going to go on over to the chat, drop a few links for you guys to check out if you wish to do so. Make sure you do leave a like. The link that you're about to see pop up, that is the Christmas wish list I've got set up for my fam. The link you're about to see next is going to be the Discord. Feel free to join us over there, completely free to do so. Nice little community. We're going to give those links a second to pop up there for anyone who wants to check them out. Give it a second. Give it a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Morning stream, you guys are killing it, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you, and I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.